Yes, greetings, blessings, people. We're here, we're live and direct on a big bad station with yours truly, DJ Kat the Catalyst. And I have a very special guest joining me today, and I'm looking forward to hearing everything he's got going on. So, of course, special guest, are you there?
I am here. How you doing?
I'm good. So, let the people know, let the listeners know who you are and a little bit about yourself.
Okay, name's Stuart McGill. Based in London, though not originally from there, as you can probably tell from the accent. I'm the chief instructor of UKM Martial Arts. And I guess what we want to talk about is the forthcoming seminar we have in Coventry for my wee group, the Martial Artists Against Racism, which is coming up on 16th of November.
Wow. So, first of all, I've got to ask, why Coventry? Why have you choose? Because I'm in Coventry. Why have you chose my little city to come down to?
Oh, well, it's a question a few people have asked me. I think it's a nice central London location, and we are very much in our own wee bubble here in London, and I thought we should go ahead and take this outside the city so we could attract more people. And we got a very nice location in the way of the spiritual warrior martial arts in Falls Hill Road, 520 Falls Hill Road.
Yeah.
And we thought, hell, let's go ahead and give it a go. And I've not been to Coventry for a long time on a purely personal basis. I've been up there for the football in the old Highfield Road days. I'm told Coventry has changed hugely, so I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Wow, looking forward to hearing all about it. So, of course, people always want to know, okay, who is this guy? What is your credentials in martial arts? So I feel like you need to let the listeners know a little background of you.
Oh, okay. I've been training on and off, mostly on, since 1972, which I guess is probably older than most of your listeners. I'm a third dan in Goju Karate. I left that sometime towards the end of the last century. And I've done some other stuff since. I did a course in Krav Maga, the Krav Maga instructor's course, which is the Israeli Defense Forces gig. I'll talk about how this evolved later. And it was actually going to Israel back in when I think it was 2006. That turned me into a Palestinian rights campaigner. We kept the name, which I think to a certain extent was a mistake. I rather wish I hadn't. But it's not as if everybody who teaches karate believes in everything that the Japanese government says or does. You teach the Indonesian martial arts, you don't necessarily agree with the occupation of East Timor. So, this does cause a bit of hassle and confusion, but we have nothing to do with Israel. And I am quite an active campaigner and fundraiser for Palestinian rights.
Yeah.
On that issue, any proceeds we make from the seminar will go to charity, and my share will be going to medical aid for Palestinians.
Oh, wow, I hear that. So I guess I have to ask you, why is this seminar important? Because obviously you're talking about against racism, which of course I'm hoping all my listeners are fighting against that as well. But why is it important to you?
I think various reasons. One thing a quote I always get back to is Angela Davis. You know, it's not enough to be, in a racist society, it's not enough to be non-racist. We must be anti-racist. I'm old enough to remember Angela Davis, who was a prominent communist, basically black and everybody's rights campaigner in the States.
Yeah.
And I remember I was a kid, my father, who was no saint, but was an interesting guy, and he told me about Angela Davis and why people like her existed. And that quote always kind of stayed with me. My wife is Indian. Well, she's from Walthamstow, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So I have mixed race kids, so I have some skin in this game, even though my own skin is particularly white as a person of Irish background. And I see more and more racism in the streets. I see more and more conversations in the press, on social media.
Yeah.
People using language they wouldn't have dreamed of a while ago. I mean, the potential future leader of the Tory party talking about the country wasn't built on immigration and we should send people back home even if they have a complete right to stay here.
Yeah.
It's a definite shift in the mentality. And I noticed that too with fellow martial artists. After every kind of terrorist atrocity, you'd see various people who I thought I knew coming on with some quite hideous racist stuff and Islamophobic stuff. And this did cause me some concern because I've always thought martial arts was immune to that. We train together, we live together. So I thought, we'll form the organisation. And the organisation is basically there as a statement it's a fount of knowledge and information. I will regularly send out stuff which gives the lie to some of the top racist myths, and also the practical element, which beginning in Coventry in November, actually just a couple of weeks' time. Yeah. So people do need to know how to defend themselves, whether they're on demonstrations or just in the street. So that's, I guess, the three main reasons for doing this. Does that answer your question?
It does answer the question. We have a question, actually, that a listener wanted me to ask you, which is it also open to females? Are you keen for females to learn martial arts?
Oh, my God, yes, way more so. I mean, whenever I first started doing this full-time, I've been teaching for about 30 years, but full-time for 20, because we took on a particularly macho way of advertising ourselves, I was finding the class was about 95% guys. So we deliberately moved away from that. And women need it more than guys. I mean, unfortunately, with women, I just took on a new female private student this week. It's more a matter of life and death than it is for guys. Most guys get into fights in the pub or in a bit of a melee. With women, it's much more important they do it. So 100% yes, women are very welcome here.
Wow. And, I've got to ask you, I mean, because I know martial arts, I did a little bit when I was younger, and it's a lot about discipline. So when you spoke earlier about kind of in the space of martial arts and racism seems to be coming forward in there, are you disappointed in that?
Oh, massively. And one of my colleagues who's a very prominent martial artist who's even older than me, he's publicised some of this stuff, and some of the reactions he's got from people on his social media has actually generally quite shocked him. Yeah. And he just gets rid of it straight away. Yeah, by no means everyone who does martial arts or teaches martial arts is anti-racist, but we are facing a situation in which a large part of the population, and I don't think it's ever really gone away. And I'm old enough to remember when Enoch Powell came out with that speech in 1968. A large part of the country went giddy over Enoch Powell because he was voicing the prejudices that quite a few people, I mean, they're fed this from birth, some of them, and the media does it an awful lot to stir things up. So we are fighting a battle. I wouldn't say we're fighting a losing battle, but we have to start winning and playing a bit better than we do.
100%. And I mean, even in the media as of late, talking about immigration and things like that, it's very negative language. And very, very awful. And I hear people talking, and it is becoming more and more aggressive. So I suppose the question is, what are your steps to kind of not necessarily stop it, I'm going to say, but try and stop it? What are your steps?
That's a huge question there, Kat. Obviously we have to go ahead and teach people how to look after themselves. I've been on a couple of demonstrations where I've been taking part in looking after people, and we've had to do the stuff to stop some actually quite serious assaults on people. Pretty grim stuff. So people need to know how to defend themselves, particularly women. The one I went to a couple of years ago, a guy from the fascist right, he stole a flagpole off a couple of girls who were having a drink outside the pub, and was going to hit them round with the head with the flagpole. It was kind of lucky I was there and was able to stop it. So I'm telling you this not to go ahead and say what a great guy I am, but just to go ahead and get that, this sort of stuff works. The stuff that we teach does actually work, and it's been proven. And my two colleagues doing the seminar, Leo and David Kiriakou, very experienced, very accomplished martial arts with an awful lot of real world experience too. So there's the practical element, teach people how to look after themselves. There's an element too of setting an example. Martial artists, whether we like it or not, we do end up as role models. So people become like the people around them, and they take the lead from the people they see at the top of their profession. So it's important we set a good example, and we have to, as much as possible and as often as possible, give the lie to the garbage which people are talking about. One of my students this week, he's not a bad guy. He's half Irish, half Pakistani, has an Irish passport, which must cause some confusion at the airports. And he was telling me, don't you get annoyed about all this money going on refugees? And I said, bro, it's 0.2% of public expenditure. It's a tiny figure. But it gets such publicity from the press and the media. People think it's about 25% of public expenditure. This is nonsense. It's the garbage we're fed.
Yeah, that's it. And, I mean, as a teacher, what are the most common questions you get asked? Obviously, martial art questions, but what is the most common questions you get asked about racism or race in particular?
It's I don't know, London. I mean, I live in and teach in South East London now mostly, which is a pretty diverse area. We don't really have a problem here. There are, but the people that feel that way, they tend to move to Kent or further out the city, like the East End, East London, where my wife comes from. People who feel that way, they tend to move to Essex. That's why I explain some of the voting patterns in those counties.
Yeah.
In terms of the question I get asked mostly about martial arts is, does it work? Can it work for me? And will it work against a bigger person? And the answer to all those questions is yes. It's all based on leverage. Regarding race, don't get asked about it too much. It's a different situation here across London in particular, but here in South East London, I remember my kids and some of their white friends went to the Reading Festival a few years ago, and they all came back to me, and even the white kids were saying, we couldn't believe how white it was, because they're not used to being surrounded by just white people. Yeah, we have a little bubble down here, which I guess gets back to what we talked about earlier. We want to take it away from the bubble and take it elsewhere.
Yeah, I love that. So, I mean, what do you know of Coventry? I'm interested to know what you know of my little city.
I know of Coventry? I know I used to go to football quite a bit, so I've been to the old Highfield Road. An interesting place to go. And the old Coventry away mob, one of the best laughs I ever had was actually going with Coventry to see them play Tottenham a while ago.
Oh, wow.
I like the West Midlands. Yeah, there's no kind of garbage about the West Midlands, thinking we're the toughest, we're the hardest. People just have a good laugh. I know about the cathedral. I know obviously about the history of the car industry there. And of course I know about the Selector and the Specials and the other bands from Coventry.
Oh, nice. So you're all rounded then. You're ready to come to Coventry. You're ready.
Oh, yeah. I'm looking forward to it. Not been there for a bad taste, to be honest, actually, Kat. So, looking forward to seeing that. A bit of a shame about the old Highfield Road going, but people tell me the new stadium is better, but I'm not a fan of new football stadiums, nor indeed of sitting down at matches. I still prefer standing up.
Oh, okay. So, tell us about this seminar. I know you've gave us a little hints here and there. So, what can people expect if they want to come along?
Right. Well, I'm going to kick off with a little bit of an introduction, and we'll take breaks on a regular basis where we just chat about what we can do as martial artists and what we can do as martial arts students to combat the growing threat of racism to our society. But we'll be focusing mostly on the practical stuff. Me, I'll be doing preemptive moves and some stand-up grappling stuff, what to do if someone grabs you or someone just fronts you up, and how to go ahead and end the situation quickly. We'll focus a little bit on some of the female self-defense aspects there as well, because women tend to get attacked one-to-one more than guys, and they tend to get attacked more from the rear. So hopefully we'll have a good number of women there, and we'll talk about those aspects, because women do get attacked in slightly different ways. Yeah. My friend Leo Negão, which means big black Leo in Portuguese. His full name is Leonardo Costa da Silva. Mm-hmm. Leo is a former 4-time world Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu champion. A very good guy, a very nice guy, but massively competent at what he does. Leo will be teaching about takedowns, using takedowns to defend yourself, takedown defenses, and what to do if you get on the floor. Yeah. David Kiriakou, Hydra, as we call him, he'll be looking at how to handle yourself in a melee situation. So whenever it kicks off and there's a group of people in the fight, using what he calls the rolling elbows technique. And we'll also go ahead and show some stuff about basically improvised weaponry, like say how to use your belt if the guy pulls out a knife, or if you just want to use your belt to go ahead and use a little bit of create a little bit of safe space for you to defend yourself, then run away.
Yeah. Wow. It sounds like a full impact day. That's what it sounds like.
People will have a workout, and hopefully they'll find it interesting, and it will be fun as well. We take ourselves seriously, but not too seriously. So we have a laugh too.
Love that. And how long is it for? And how can do they have to pay for tickets? How does it work?
Yeah, people go onto the Martial Artists Against Racism website, they'll see everything there. I'll just bring it up myself here, and there's a special page for the seminar in Coventry. I'll send it to you after we talk. If you can put it on the website or something,
yeah, sure,
that would be cool. And it's from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Way of the Spiritual Warrior Martial Arts Dojo in, like I say, 520 Falls Hill Road.
Wow, love that. So, usually when we speak of seminar, people think of sitting down and writing. Is that different then for this one? I'm guessing people are going to be up and ready to do some of the moves that you're going to show.
It's practical. Yeah, people can by all means go ahead and make notes in various breaks, but now we'll be straight into the practical stuff straight away. You won't be sitting down there listening. We'll demonstrate a couple of techniques, then we get people to pair up, or again, a bigger group, and they do the techniques. We have a look and see what's happening. We correct them and we move on that way. So there'll be continual action all the way through. But again, we'll take a few minutes to basically every half hour or so. We'll take a little break so people can get a rest.
Okay, love that. And of course, when it comes to these sessions, what do you look forward to the most?
Meeting people and talking about what's happened to them, what's brought them there. And helping them to a certain extent overcome some of their fears, and also helping them actually overcome some of the kind of physical attributes they feel will make it difficult for them. I mean, it's obviously much easier in the fight if you're bigger, but there's things you can do if you're smaller, and this is where it gets back to female self-defense. I mean, the chances are the guy that attacks you is going to be much bigger than you, so we major on the leverage, how to defend yourself against the bigger person, and also how to defend yourself against multiple attackers, which is very, very difficult, but you do need to sometimes confront that situation, and there's various things that you can do.
Wow, okay. So I'm all right then, because I'm small, so I can participate as well.
Yeah, no problem at all. I'm not the biggest guy myself, so I always sympathise with the smaller people.
Yeah, that's it. We need looking after as well, as they say.
Absolutely. We need looking after more than the big guys. Yeah. So, yes, one of the problems I had whenever I first started doing this full time, you got a lot of big guys coming to class. You think, why do you bother with this? You guys are going to be okay. So, you've always got to help if it doesn't work for the smallest person, all right, then you're doing something wrong. You got to work on the whole principle of leverage.
Yeah, I hear that. You know what? I'm really looking forward to coming down and you kind of showing us all your skills and what it is you're all about. I'm looking forward to it.
Great. Looking forward to seeing you, and thanks very much for giving me the chance to have a chat here.
Anytime, you're always welcome. And like I said, I can't wait to see what happens. And yeah, I'm going to be telling people about this particular event. So I'm looking forward to that.
Good. Looking forward to seeing you, Kat. Again, no thanks very much indeed.
Anytime. We'll speak again soon and have a blessed rest of the day.
And you, mate. All the best. Cheers.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Yes, people, please do go and support this event. It's a great event, as you can hear. I'm looking forward to it. And for those who need some self-defense, some kind of I suppose positive energy, positive vibration around self-defense and what that actually means. Okay, so make sure you come down. I'm gonna drop all the information on the YouTube channel, Facebook, everything like that. So please do come and support. Bless up to everybody.